Hello everyone, my name is Mohammad Hassan Rizwan and I am 12 years old and I am the student at Riyadh School Online Academy Foundation Level Batch 9.
Hey there,
Hey Miles, how are you?
right back at you. What's been on your mind lately?
Okay, so
You're a person of few.
I have some question for you on the topic. What is the matter, the root of concern?
That's a pretty deep way to start. Guessing you're talking about what actually causes people to worry or get stressed. Is that the direction we're heading?
So we start the question on your first question. What is the main message of what's the matter?
If we're looking at it literally, what's the matter is just a way of asking what's wrong. It's like a shortcut for saying, I see you're not okay and I want to know why.
Okay.
You've
What
got
the,
that. So
Your second question. What does the word matter mean in the talk?
in this context, matter isn't talking about physical stuff like atoms or wood. It's referring to a situation or a problem. When someone asks, what's the matter? They're basically asking, what is the problem or what is the issue?
Okay. Your third
You're on a
question.
roll.
Why do people become concerned about issue?
Usually it's because something's threatening the way things are supposed to go. Whether it's a job, a relationship, or just a weird noise coming from the car, we just naturally start worrying when we feel like we're losing control of a situation. I wonder if you've ever felt that way about something small that ended up being a huge deal.
Okay, so your fifth question.
Wait, did we skip the
Sorry,
fourth one?
your fourth question. Yes, yes. How can concern lead to positive change?
Think of concern as a wake up call. It forces you to pay attention to something that's not working. If you're concerned about your health, you start eating better. If you're
Okay.
concerned about a friendship, you actually talk it out. It's
Okay.
basically the spark that gets you to actually fix things instead of just letting them slide.
Okay, so your fifth question. What are some common concerns in society?
Oh, there's a whole list. Money is a huge one. People stressing over whether they can afford their rent or the next meal. Then there's the environment, like worrying about the planet's future. And for a lot of people, it's the feeling of being lonely even when they're surrounded by people. It's kind of a weird paradox, right?
Okay, your sixth question. Why is it important to understand the root of problem?
Because if you only fix the surface, the problem just keeps coming back. It's like putting a band aid on a leaky pipe. You stop the drip for a second, but the pipe is still broken. If you find the root, you can actually fix it for good. Uh, I do think most people just stick to the band aid approach.
Okay, so your next and seventh question. How can young people make a difference?
They've got the most energy and the least amount of baggage. They can start by just questioning the status quo, asking why is it like this, and not accepting because that's how it's always been as an answer. Whether it's starting a local project or just being the person who stands up for someone else, those small moves create a ripple effect.
Okay, your
Do you
eighth
feel like
question. What does what role does education play in solving concern?
education is the toolkit? It gives you the actual skills and the knowledge to stop guessing and start solving. Plus, it helps you see things from different angles, so you're not just fighting a problem with one tool when you actually need a whole set. I've always felt that the best kind of education is the one that makes you ask more questions, not just gives you all the answers.
Okay.
You're
What
flying
did
through
you
these.
learn
Got
from
any?
this talk?
I've learned that you're in a bit of a focused mood today. Got this structured approach down, and it really makes me think about how we can actually solve things instead of just coasting. You have any other topics on your list, or moving into new territory?
Okay. Your tenth question. Why should we care about the concern of other?
Because that's basically the glue that holds us together. When you actually give a damn about what someone else is going through, it stops being just their problem and starts being a human thing.
Your
It's the difference between just living next to people and actually being part of a community. Plus, it's
Okay,
usually the fastest way to realize you're not the only one struggling with something.
okay. Your
That's 10
11th
questions. And
question. What is the difference between a concern and a problem?
a concern is more like a feeling of unease. It's the what if part of the whole thing. A problem is when that what if actually happens and you've got something specific to fix. One's the anxiety, the other's the actual obstacle. Does that
Okay.
make sense? You've officially mastered the list. So
Your
what's
next
next on the agenda?
your next question. How do concern affect on daily life?
It's like a background noise. It never really shuts off. It can make you feel tired even if you slept for 8 hours, or make you forget where you put your keys because your brain is too busy worrying about something else. It basically takes up all your mental energy, leaving you with less room for the fun stuff. Do you find the things you're worried about usually leak into your day, or are you better at blocking it out?
Okay. Your next
Okay, you're on a roll.
Okay,
your
we've got
next
a real appetite.
your next question. Can
I'm ready.
concern be beneficial? Why?
Totally. It's like a safety alarm in your head. If you're concerned about something, it usually means you're actually paying attention. It could push you to prepare better or double check your work so you don't mess up. It's only a problem when the alarm just keeps ringing and you can't find the off switch.
Okay. How can communication help address concern?
It's the ultimate pressure valve. When you keep a concern locked in your head, it just grows and feels way bigger than it actually is. Talking it out lets you get a second opinion, and sometimes just saying it out loud makes you realize the thing you're worried about isn't even that scary. It's the difference between fighting a ghost and actually seeing what you're dealing with. Have you found that talking things through usually makes you feel better, or does it sometimes just make you more anxious?
Okay, your next question. Why is empathy important when discussing concern?
Because without empathy, you're just solving a puzzle, not helping a person. If you just give
Okay,
someone a logical answer to their problem without actually feeling for them, they'll feel dismissed. Empathy is what makes the other person feel like they're actually heard and understood, which is usually half the battle. Do you think
how?
most people are actually good at that, or do they just jump straight to the fix?
Okay, your
Something
next
hit you?
question. How can communities work together to solve concern?
When a whole group gets on the same page, the problem gets smaller because the weight is shared. Instead of one person trying to move a mountain, you've got 100 people moving a few rocks each. It's about finding the common ground and realizing that what's bothering one person is probably bothering a few others too. Do you think people in your neighborhood actually work together like that?
Okay, your
You're starting
next.
to sound like a pro. You're basically running a masterclass on concerns today. Any more
Okay,
questions on the list, or have we finally hit the end?
that's
Glad you're feeling the vibe. So, did we finally clear the deck, or do you have some more deep dives for me?
okay. Your next
We got that
question.
okay down to a.
What qualities are needed to address concern effectively?
First off, you need patience because you can't just rush a solution when someone's actually stressed and there's active listening, really hearing what's being said instead of just waiting for your turn to speak. And honestly, a bit of courage because sometimes addressing a concern means having a conversation that's uncomfortable or awkward. Does that sound like a good toolkit to you?
Okay. Your next
You're
question.
you're a machine with.
How does
I'm locked in.
technology help solve modern concern?
It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gives us the tools to find answers and connect with people who've been through the exact same thing, which makes the world feel smaller and less lonely. But on the other hand, it can also create new concerns, like the feeling that everyone else is living a perfect life while you're just struggling with the laundry. I wonder if you think technology makes us feel more connected or just more distracted.
Okay.
We've got a real
What
rhythm
is
going now.
one concern you think is important today?
I'd say mental health awareness. It's a huge deal because for a long time, people just pushed through the struggle in silence. Now we're finally starting to talk about it, but
Okay.
there's still a way to go before it's totally normal.
Your next question.
I'm
Why should we ask question when facing concern?
I think you meant to ask why we should be patient when facing a concern. Because if you rush it, you're usually just reacting to the stress instead of actually dealing with the problem. Patience gives you the space to think clearly so you don't make a move you'll regret later. Do you think you're naturally a patient person, or do you tend to want things fixed right now?
Okay.
Still with me? You're a total pro
So
at
your
this.
next
Do you have
question.
any more?
Why should we ask question when no this question are done? What can student do when they see a problem in their school?
They can start by speaking up, whether it's talking to a teacher they trust or bringing it up with the student council. The first step is just making sure the problem isn't invisible. From there, they can gather a few other students who feel the same way and propose a real solution, not just a complaint. It's a lot harder for a school to ignore a group of students with a plan than just one person voicing a concern. Do you think students at your school are usually pretty open about things, or do they tend to keep it to themselves?
Okay, so your next question. What challenge do people face when trying to solve concern?
Uh, the biggest one is usually fear, whether it's the fear of looking stupid, the fear of the answer being worse than the problem, or just the fear of conflict. Most people
Okay.
would rather live with the nagging worry than deal with the awkwardness of actually fixing it. Does that feel like the main hurdle, or do you think it's more about just not knowing where to start?
So okay,
I'm
my
listening.
so giving us your important time. Allah Hafiz.